The TC Impact SB, let's check it out. Guys, when it comes to the shooting sports, there are so many different aspects. It can be actually overwhelming. And whether you're a hunter, you're into self-defense, you're a competitive shooter, you're military and police. I mean, there's so many different ways, or you just like to go out and shoot. One thing that I have never gotten into is black powder. And not because I haven't wanted to, because I have for years. But just either I wasn't around people that did it, or it was just intimidating. It just seemed like it was a little bit, there was a lot going on, and I really didn't know enough to get involved on my own. Well, GetZone.com got in touch with me and asked if I would take a look at the TC Impact SB. This is a 50 caliber muzzle loader. Since I had never had any experience, I said, you know what, let's do it. So guys, we're going to take a look at some of the specs and the features of the TC Impact. Look at some of the things you might need to get started in shooting and do a little bit of shooting. In a second video directly following this one, my good friend Robbie Wheaton came out and we went through a step-by-step on why choose the things that you do for loading, then loading the rifle, and then shooting it. I think this will help if you're not into black powder. Hopefully after this, it's going to pique your interest. And again, I want to thank GetZone and Thompson Center Arms for sending the TC Impact for this test and evaluation. Guys, it was a great experience. Now they make a number of different models of the Impact. This is the standard model with the blued barrel, and then it has the black composite stock. It is a two-piece stock, and of course the fore-end bends once you break this down. But again, one of the big things I love about this is that it's a very modern muzzle loader, but yet it's super easy. And so even for the beginner, even though this is advanced in technology, it's perfect for the beginner. It is 50 caliber. It has a 26-inch barrel, and so it's going to be very accurate as well. Now we're going to double check to make sure the gun is unloaded. And so right here we have these two ears, and you just pull back and it releases the tension on the barrel. Right here we have our breech plug, and there is no primer in the breech. So we're going to go ahead and close it. It just locks down solid. I mean, it's very simple to operate. Now again, we're going to be having a full how-to, and then we're going to shoot it, and that's going to be on part 2. But I just wanted to mainly show a lot of the features, because there are a lot of features on this rifle. Now here's your hammer, and of course you can just bring this back into the fire position, and then we have what we call the shooting position, which is all the way down. But once you let go of the trigger, it pops back to the resting position. And so this is almost like a safety in itself, which there are no external safeties on this muzzle loader. And again, here we have those wings. You have to pull them, both of them, back to get it open. And then we have our breech plug. Now, this just unscrews, and it's made to unscrew very quickly. Now, we have fired this rifle, and so, but we have put some bore butter on these threads. And that's one of the things you want to take care of, is making sure you have a little bit of anti-seize, some kind of thread protection, because this will seize up if you just leave it. And that's another thing we're going to talk about in a later video, is cleaning these. Once you take this rifle out to shoot, it's mandatory that you clean it when you get back, because you are using black powder and it can be corrosive. Right here you see the two holes. This is perfect for the tool that is included, and so it just fits right in here. So if it does get sort of locked down, it's very easy to go ahead and release it. But as you can see, it's very smooth going in, and it's quick, and yet it's really secure. So here we have it hand tight. We can take our tool, and then we can just tighten that down. But honestly, it doesn't tighten anymore, because this just locks it down. And then you have this knurling here to be able to get a good grip on it. And then we just close it down, and then the hood goes over the end of the breech. This has been drilled and tapped, and we could put a scope mount on here. The main thing I wanted was to use the sights, which are excellent. Here, the fiber optic sight in the rear, it's an orange. And then here at the front, we have a green fiber optic, so it contrasts really well. But You can see the bluing on this barrel. I mean, it is excellent. I mean, that's one of the things you don't see a lot of anymore, is that blue, that deep blue, and Thompson Center did a great job on this. This comes with the black composite stock. It has a nice pistol grip. Then, of course, you have a little bit of a Monte Carlo stock piece here, and this is just a very comfortable stock on your shoulder. There are some recessed areas right here for your hand. And then we have a really nice rubber butt pad. It's very absorbent for recoil. And then it also has a 1-inch spacer. You can remove this, take your recoil pad, put it forward, and then, you know, anyone can shoot this. And it has the TC logo right here in the stock. Now there's also optional camouflage colors, whether it's Realtree, they have Bottomland, and then Break-In Country, which are just different patterns. It not only comes in the blue, it also comes in a silver weather shield. So there's a lot of different models to choose from. Here you have your power rod, ramrod, and of course it just fits underneath the barrel. Always good to keep this back into place once you fire it. This has a little T-handle on the end, and so it makes it a lot easier to be able to insert. Now while you can start out loading with this, there's also an extension that comes with it. And so this just screws in, and of course once you put the ramrod in, you'll need to take this off. But it's knurled here, and this just helps, especially right at first. You can get a little ball handle to go on here to be able to insert that round when you first get started. But it just goes right in this little hood and right into the stock. One thing I did notice though is once we fired it, it seemed to want to pop out just a little bit, but it's still retained in the rifle. For about 1 inch into the muzzle, there's no rifling, and this makes it much easier to load. It's their QLA system. And so when you first put that bullet in, it drops down, and then you can push it into the rifling. And this also protects the muzzle just like a crown. Now there's a lot of different options you can use to load these, but to me the most simplest is using the Sabo type bullets. We have some Hornady SSTs, and these are pretty cool. I mean, they're very easy, and that's one of the things that I wanted. We went to Cabela's, picked these up. The little Sabo just fits down in here, and then when you load it, it actually seals the breech with the gunpowder, so it allows for pressure. And you can get a ton of different types of these, and we're going to go into this a little bit more when we go into our shooting part. These are great. They're super easy. Of course, you can load them with a ball and patch. You can do whatever. We did use the Pyrodex pellets, which I also highly recommend, and these are just fantastic. Now these are in 50 grain increments, and this rifle is rated up to 150, so you can use from 2 to 3 according to your hunting conditions or whatever you're wanting to shoot. And of course, with the 3, it's considered a magnum. You don't want to touch these because you get your oil from your hand on these, and it can mess up the charge. And so, as you can see, we've already been shooting. We've already shot some others, actually. But this, to me, is the most simple, and there's a lot of different options out there. It is Pyrodex, and while it's not quite as corrosive as standard black powder, it is corrosive, and again, you need to make sure that you clean your rifle as soon as you finish. And there's a ton of different cleaning products out there that make it really easy. And it does come with this little pipe cleaner. Of course, it uses standard 209 shotgun primers, and so that makes it easy. You can get these anywhere. So most of these are available at local gun shops or different places. I just happen to pick these up at Cabela's. Also for cleaning, I got some of the foaming bore cleaner. This is from Thompson Center, and this is great stuff. It really makes it quick. And then we have a little bit of boar butter. And again, we're going to get into a little bit more of this in the next video, but this is an excellent cleaning product. And of course, the boar butter is great as well to keep your barrel preserved. And one of the great things about the break action system is that it's really easy to clean. You know, if you need to pull out a bullet, it's not as difficult. You can push it through, take out your breech plug. And so I really like the breakdown system. But then this can get you started into other type muzzle loading rifles, but with the technology and the simplicity, you know, I just found this was very easy. Now the total length is 39.75 inches, just under 40 inches, and the weight is 6 pounds, 13.6 ounces. And it does have mounts for sling at the front and here at the rear. When it comes to the trigger, and of course this is unloaded, very nice break. We're going to check the trigger pull with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 3 pounds, 4.1 ounces. 3 pounds, 5.1 ounces. Now, Thompson Center's been in business since 1970, and of course their Contender line of pistols and rifles is legendary, but also with their black powder firearms. And one of the things about the Impact SB is that it's one of their new offerings, and honestly it's really state of the art, and yet they've got the price down. I think the manufacturer suggested retail is like $263, but I was finding a lot of them in the low 200s and below range. So check it out. There's a lot of different sources out there. And I want to thank TC Arms for sending the Impact SB and for Get Zone for putting it all together. And guys, if you want a lot of information that you're no longer able to find on YouTube, go to getzone.com. They are a strong supporter of the Second Amendment, and we do a lot of exclusive videos over there on Get Zone. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Into the shooting sports, okay, of the gun sport industry out there. And so, gun sport industry, what is that? What is the gun sport industry? Now the stock comes as a composite competitive